Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday, the 7th of October. I hope you guys are all very well and that you will take the time, please, to watch until the end of this video. This Friday is bringing us some tough challenges regarding our own growth and finally healing some old wounds. Libra. The Libra sun opposes the wounded healer Chiron today. So, just explanation a little bit. With the sun in Libra, there will be definitely a desire on your part to find a balance, a justice, and fairness in some aspect of your life. And when the sun opposes Chiron, this will act to show you your fears and your wounds with regards to your ego as well as your life path. So the sun opposing Chiron will show us our weaknesses in the foundation of our very identity, insecurities, fears, perceived failings, and unresolved issues about our sense of purpose in life will be shown to us. So, quite challenging today. The moon is still in the sign of Pisces, which will add very intense emotions to the mix. So, if you are ready to reach a balanced solution between yourself and someone else who may have harmed or in a perceived way harmed your ego, please remember that compromise will honestly be the only way to get through this day. Perhaps consider letting bygones be bygones, because this is the mature way that we can settle disputes. Please, heads up, you guys. Many others are still out to get blood right now, especially with Mars in the retrograde phase. People are extremely explosive and quite aggressive, and everybody still thinks that they are right. So you might be feeling quite an energy that I would call a standoff, um, because certain parties in your life will just not be ready to budge at all. So perhaps if you struggle to find balance, fairness, and justice, where your wounds, your inner wounds, your ego wounds are concerned, and others won't budge on that, simply try to leave it for now and tell yourself, let bygones be bygones, and just let it go. It's easier to walk away than to actually rip off that plaster and just harm yourself even more. On the other hand, if you are really determined to find healing and balance in these wounds, you can be wise and still use this energy, but then consider adding a third party with a fresh perspective that will definitely help to soothe the vibe between you and another person. In this way, if you allow the power dynamic to open up by adding a neutral third party, it can really help you to crack the puzzle and let some light and enlightenment into the darkness of sorting out these wounds and pains. Remember, for every single action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, and this is really stressed by the sun in Libra. Remember the scales, you guys. For every single action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So even as the collective faces many changes at once, there is still a sense of organization today. Try to hold on to that sense of organization within the chaos, looking towards trusted friends, mentors, and guides is really what it's all about today. Even after this Sun and Chiron opposition is complete, there are more transits and lessons rearing their heads for much of October. So do call in your teams that has your back, that supports you and understands you, and definitely lean on them. The question at this moment is basically, are you willing to move forward, or do you still have the desire to hold on to certain wounds and unhealed parts of yourself? Absolutely, it is completely up to you and where you find yourself in your healing and growth journey. If you are willing to move forward, it is very, very possible today with the surrounding energies to make strides for yourself uh, and others to build a better future, and not just for yourself, but in conjunction with others in your life. Today, we will be using again Deepak Chopra's manifestation good luck cards. I will also be drawing 3 little cards for us just to look at suggested things that we can surrender today that will assist us with these very, very challenging energies. And lastly, we are also using the Darkana Tarot. Quite love this deck. It is a little bit dark, but it feels quite fitting, and that is the one that I was guided to today. Um, so let's get going and see what our cards are bringing up for us today in support of these challenges that we are facing. So remember, I want to just reiterate that the moon is still in Pisces, you guys, and this might even make things feel much more intense than what they really are. Remember, your crystals, especially fluorite, can definitely help you today to bring some of that Aquarian air energy into the mix to help balance out these very, very intense emotions surrounding old wounds, and where you feel you have been wronged in the past, where your ego was really, really hurt. So try to bring balance in with fluorite or even a grounding stone, right? My ears are suddenly whistling, so that is confirmation. Extremely important to try and balance the intense emotional energies of the moon in Pisces today, uh, so that you can just calm down a little bit on the emotional side of things. You don't want to explode on a Friday. Certainly, we don't. Remember, if it's difficult, just walk away, please. And you can pick it up in another day or in another lunar cycle when the moon isn't so extremely intensely emotional. Right, let me stop chatting here for a second. What's coming up for the collective today regarding the surrounding planetary energies, please? First card out is the Knight of Cups. Definitely, I feel here with the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Do try to hold on to your emotions. Count to 10, 20, or even 100 if you need to, in order to prevent emotional explosions today. with the moon in Pisces, there is quite the strong possibility that we might not be really seeing things as clearly as we should. Do not allow yourself to be emotionally overwhelmed and empowered today. All right? Try to stop and breathe and not react immediately. Okay, let me see what comes up next. I've actually just decided I'm going to hermit for the rest of this day. I honestly am not in the mood for emotional outbursts. Right, third card out is the King of Wands. Yes. This is practical advice, I would say. King of Wands takes action, practical action in the world, and he doesn't mess too much around with emotions. I would honestly advise everyone today to try and be as practical as possible. Take responsibility for yourself, take your power, embrace your power, and be responsible, taking action only towards the things that will build your future instead of breaking it up. Right, let's have a look at the third card, you guys. When I buy tarot decks, as you probably know or not, they are extremely expensive here in South Africa, and because I work with them so regularly, they do get messed up very quickly. So when I buy a deck, I actually make myself a printed working copy so that I don't damage and destroy the original too quickly. Third card out is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups talks about relationships, right? Especially relationships that we have with our loved ones and important people in our lives. I really feel with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, the King of Wands in the upright, and this Ace of Cups, this is a serious ask from our guides to safeguard our relationships today by being responsible and rather be focused on practical matters today, and try to steer clear of being too emotional. Right, if you do get into intense conversations with your loved ones today, please remember to do everything in your power to safeguard the integrity and the health of those specific relationships. Very important, because soon this opposition will go away, and the moon will move, and you don't want to be left thinking, oh my word, I wish I was a little bit calmer. I wish that I didn't react so spontaneously and explosively. No one likes to come back to apologize for wrongdoings, and you also don't want to load any further guilt on yourself. So try to be very responsible, you guys, today in your love relationships with others. And this doesn't have to be just romantic, it could be any relationship that's close to your heart. And let's look at the last card out for us, Justice in the reverse. Right, the Justice card talks about responsibility and decisions, right? Make responsible decisions for not only yourselves today. The king takes lead. Remember this King of Wands over here. He takes the lead, and he doesn't just take responsibility for himself, he also takes responsibility in certain instances on acting a certain way so that others can also be safeguarded. You guys don't fall in the trap of making incorrect and unjust decisions today. Be responsible and keep focusing on justice, right? I'll just put that there. Let's have a look. at the bottom of the deck. Absolutely. I would say the most important today for us all today is to embrace the energy of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess sits and she observes with divine wisdom without opening her mouth. Today might just be extremely important for us all to observe and to try and do the healing in our inner planes without speaking too much. I think the Pisces moon energy might just push us all over the edge if we do open up and speak today. So, again, the advice from me and Spirit would definitely be to move in silence and heal in silence today. Right, let us move on and see what we can possibly surrender today for our highest good and to help us get through this very, very intense day. Let me see. I'm just going to draw 3 cards. That was a good catch, eh? Right. First card, surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say, thank you for sharing, and quickly refocus on positive affirmations or thoughts. So, the first suggested thing that we need to surrender today for our highest good would be negative thinking. Let's have a look. And I'm not looking on these. Oops, Daisy, that must absolutely come out. Surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always and in all ways. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear change for aging or death, repeat the following affirmation: I have faith that all is well. So please try to release and surrender your fear of change today. Right, and let's have a look at the very last card. Oh, that had to come out. Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Just as the advice was saying to us earlier, if you feel you need to, please remember you can certainly add a supportive, neutral third party to help you soothe the intense energies and the serious conversations you might be having today. And lastly, let's have a look and see the affirmation that will best serve us today for our highest good. I promise you guys, the sun will shine again tomorrow. Hopefully, the sun will shine on something other than Chiron in the morning. Just get through this day without burning bridges, safeguarding your important relationships, and watch your ego. It will definitely try and rear its wounded head today. Right, there we go. I am in balance with myself and the world around me. How fitting for this Libra sun today, and you can certainly cash in on the energy of this affirmation and make your statement to the universe so that it can be so in your life. I am in balance with myself and the world around me. I recognize that when I am in balance, I possess a level of strength and flexibility that allows me to meet any challenge effortlessly. Let me repeat that one more time for all of you because it is super, super important and on point. I recognize that when I am in balance, I possess a level of strength and flexibility that allows me to meet any challenges effortlessly. You guys, I wish you guys the very best of Fridays. I hope you will find healing for your old wounds. I hope you will find the balance and the justice that you are looking for. And if you can't, I hope that you find the strength and the acceptance to simply leave it behind and walk away today. As always, sending you so much pure love, and we will talk again tomorrow morning.